Hi, this is Emily Iannelli, and I'm doing pretty good. It's 2 months out now since my transgender surgery, and I've been keeping myself busy. I like to sing, even though I'm not really that good at it, but I enjoy it and I meet people, not in person, but through videos when we uh, do a song. Uh, I usually look for interesting titles or songs that I know, and I look at the people who are doing invites, or I randomly search for a song and I find, and I match up. And if I feel comfortable and confident in singing it, I'll do it. And I might do a few takes. Maybe the most I've done is like 10 or 12 takes before I feel I got it the way I want it to sound. And then I share it. And I meet people. I meet nice young, all ages, men and women, girls, boys, whatever. And I have fun. And this is what helps me get through my recovery, because recovery is not easy. In the wake of transgender surgery, in my case, male to female, obviously. And it's not so uh, like it takes time to get adjusted, and and I'm bored at times. I'm not able to really go out a lot because it does hurt to walk a lot. I can't do a lot of walking, and sitting is a lot of pain at times. I can only sit for so long. And this is 2 months out already, and I still feel like I need to recover and heal, and I'm making sure I'm taking care of my hygienic needs. That's very important. Women know that, obviously. When I was male, uh, I was born male, and my genetics say I'm male, but I live as a female, and I identify as a female, despite my genetics. But I was not used to all the hygienic demands that a woman, even a transgender woman, requires compared to being male. I was satisfied and content with 2 showers a week, whereas as a transgender woman, I'm taking at least 1 to 2 showers a day. So you're talking about 14 showers, sometimes even 3 showers a day, where I used to do 2 showers a week. I'm now doing between 21 and 30 showers. No, I'm sorry. I'm doing about 18 to 21 showers a week. That's 2 to 3 hours 2 to 3 showers a day. Two. Well, if it's 3, 7, that's 21. If it's 2, 14. So it's between 14 to 21 showers a week compared to 2 to 3 as a guy. But I'm very self-conscious about my looks. I want to make sure I look good, dress nice. I am feminine, very much so. I admit that, and I'm okay with that because I've always been like that. And I had vocal cord surgery too in 2016. I've been on hormones now since 2012, so 7 years now. Um, and I'm been living as a female since 2012. So I've been living full time as a woman for 7 years. But my life isn't the same as it once was. When I was male, I was working. I had a full time job. I was providing for my family, and I still do. But unfortunately, my life changed because I wasn't accepted. And I don't understand why. I'm a good person. I always have been a good person. And because I live as a woman, why should I be shunned? It doesn't make any sense. Unfortunately, in the working environment, as an accountant, worked as a CPA. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough clients to go on my own. And as you get older, it's much more difficult. I was in my early 50s when I came out. I came out at 51, and subsequently my life changed because I lost my job. I lost my ability to make a living. And I wound up in hospitals over and over again, psychiatric hospitals. You know, I even attempted suicide a few times in my 7 years out of the workforce. I almost lost my house. I had to liquidate all my IRAs and retirement monies, so I have no savings whatsoever. Everything went into this house to prevent going into foreclosure. And I would look at myself as someone who's strong, courage wise, and that I'm still around. I'm 58 now. I have a son who's on the autistic spectrum, and he struggles. So, you know, I'm very isolated. My son is as well, and my wife and I are trying to help him get on his feet. Thank God Maria, my wife, is with Matthew in Disney World down in Florida, Orlando. So they're down there for like a week or so. So hopefully it'll be a wonderful experience for both of them and to bond. And they're with Maria's mom, Matthew's grandma, and one of Maria's friends, one of her girlfriends. So I'm sure they're having a wonderful time. Would I have liked to have gone? Sure, I would, but I just don't have the money. You know, it takes money to go places. But I'm glad that Maria and Matthew are going or down there having, I'm sure, a lot of fun. I miss them, but I'm happy that they're away. They needed to get away. I'm hoping at some point I can do some travels. You know, nothing fancy or anything. Well, I would love to go to England to be with a friend for a week. And I also want to go up to Minnesota to spend time with another friend for like a long weekend or something. But I need to get away too. You know, I've been struggling emotionally, mentally. You know, and the only thing that helps me cope is the singing, the karaoke. Thank God I have a friend who helped me get into that because I'm not really a singer, but I enjoy it. It's therapy for me, and it helps me cope. And I like it because it makes me learn fundamentals of singing. Plus, I am a spoken word artist, and I have numerous albums, 7 digital albums out on iTunes, T Girl Angel. And I like to write. I write poetry, though my poems don't rhyme, but they tell stories. And I like to just draw from inside of me and put it out on a medium, well, whether it's social media or in my digital recordings. And it helps me, you know. I'm not just about numbers in my career. I'm more than that. My life has been hidden from what I did in the workforce as opposed to who I am as a person. And unfortunately, I couldn't thrive in the workforce because they smothered me and I couldn't be Emily. And that's not fair. You know, I feel for transgender people or people with disabilities, people on the autistic spectrum, because they have it difficult times. And people who struggle with physical illnesses, and, you know, it's hard. But I should not be shunned from society because I'm different. And that's what bothers me. And I also am very upset when I put out videos on YouTube sometimes, occasionally, not a lot, but occasionally there are mean-spirited people out there who do bully and leave rude harassing comments. So initially, I would just reply back and say, that's not nice. You shouldn't be like that. Now I don't think twice. I just report them. I'm just tired of being bullied. And words hurt just as much as fists. And I'm not going to let people bully me. It's not a, it's a rare occurrence, but it does happen. So when it does happen, I report them, whether it's Facebook or it's YouTube or Instagram or Twitter or whatever. I report them. It's not right. And unfortunately, we live in a society where people try to hurt other people's feelings through words or even worse. And sometimes even could lead to unthinkable things. Transgender women have the highest murder rate, and transgender people on the whole have the highest suicide rate of any group of people. Um, and the most vulnerable segment within the transgender community is the black transgender women who are uh, targeted and are victims. Many have been murdered. When we do Transgender Day of Remembrance, TDOR, it's very sad when you realize how many transgender people have been murdered or committed suicide, and you see how many are African American transgender women. It's very, very alarming and very sad and scary. And I just really hope that in the future that transgender people will be embraced and accepted more for who they are as people, because we are good people. And I shouldn't have to worry about becoming homeless one day because I couldn't get work opportunities. And it's just a terrible situation to be in because I'm getting older. My long-term disability eventually will term out, and all I have is Social Security disability. I'm trying to get my son situated, my wife and I, because of his autism and his limited uh, abilities, limitations, whatever you want to say. I've been trying to encourage him to go to school, but he's not ready emotionally, so I can't force him or push him. I'm there to help him as best I can. I love my son. I'll do anything for him, and I know Maria would too. It's just he's 20 now, and we don't know what to do. We don't want him just living in the house and doing hardly anything. So that's on my mind. So we're hoping that he will find himself and get situated. I can't afford to stay in Long Island anymore. It's very expensive. So I have to think about that and how it's going to impact on the family, you know. And if I lose my long-term disability, I'm in big trouble. I'm going to lose my house, wind up in the streets. So I need to get my son situated. I need to make sure Maria will be okay. And that's why I attempted suicide in January, because it's overwhelming, the feelings I have. I could never subject my family to living homeless. Never. I'd much rather sacrifice my life to save their lives. Take my life so they get my life insurance so they can be okay. I would never want to hurt anybody. It's just the way I am as a person. And I did. I did attempt suicide. I overdosed. I took a lot of pills. I took Seroquel. I took Depakote. I took Klonopin. I must have took roughly 50 Klonopins. I'm not encouraging anybody to try to overdose on anything. I'm just relaying what I was going through, and I was extremely depressed. I was worried about possibly losing my house, worried about the disability claim, the long-term disability, because I rely on that. If I don't have that, I'm in big trouble. And I'm not able to find work. Nobody wants to give me a chance to work again. Plus, I'm 58 now, so I can't make a living like I did years ago. And I'm transgender, and I've been out of the workforce 7 years, and I've been in and out of hospitals throughout those 7 years. I've had 3 suicide attempts, and I've been in psych hospitals multiple times. I've been to South Oaks, Nassau University Medical Center, Mount Sinai, Beth Israel, Nassau University South Oaks, Nassau University Medical Center, Mount Sinai, Beth Israel, uh, Stony Brook, and Bellevue Hospital. 5 hospitals in 7 years. I've been to hospitals over 100 times with most likely 25 admissions, no exaggeration. Cops know me by my first name. They know me as Emily. They treat me nice. They treat me with dignity and respect. And they help me because they're worried for me, just like my family is and my friends. But, I'm trying to be strong. I'm trying to do the best I can. That's why doing the karaoke helps me. It allows me to open up a little bit, even though I'm not with people. And that's frustrating too, because I'd rather be singing with people in person than singing through my phone. It is nice though to see the videos play back after you sing and all, but it's not the same as singing live with someone. That's why I like going to the Queens LGBT Center to do karaoke there, because it's live and I enjoy that. But I'm very isolated, very lonely, got lots of worries, and and I'm struggling mentally, emotionally, physically, and I'm also trying to recover nicely from my transgender surgery, and it's not so easy. And there are times when I just don't want to be bothered with the maintenance. The dilation is such a hassle, but I gotta do it. But it's like you gotta use this lubrication and you gotta put it on the dilator and you gotta get it all soft and lubricated so it slides, but it gets all over you. It gets all over my hands. And then I have to wipe it. So I wipe it on my belly and it's all gross. And then I have to put some of that down below to try to ease putting the dilator in. And it takes time. It's not easy. It takes time. And you have to be patient. And you got to do it for maybe like an hour or so. Um, I don't mind doing it, but I can't do it 3 times a day. And I'm not even going to even think about going to the highest of the dilators. They give you 4. I'm not going to the last 2. I'm fine with the second one. I'm not going to go to the third or the fourth one. No way. But just trying to do the best I can. I love my wife and my son, and I didn't do the surgery for anything but myself, to feel comfortable with who I am as a person. I always identified as female, and that's just the way I am. And I can't change that. I knew when I was little, when I was just a little boy, I knew that there was something different about me. But I think it's important to come to the realization of who you are and not shy away from it or back down from it like I did in my life growing up. I've been hiding and running all my life. And I realized I can't anymore, especially after some tragedies I encountered with my dad's suicide in 2009, and then my best friend who died at age 40 in 2011. And my son's struggles with autism and my struggles with depression. I have to try my best to just cope and do what I can for my family, my wife, my son, and just appreciate all that I do have. And I have good friends too that help me. And I'm just trying to make the best of my situation. And I hope one day that people will come to accept transgender people, autistic people, people with depression, mood disorders, because we're good people and we deserve a chance to live normal, healthy lives and not be judged because we're different. We're all people just like anybody else, and we all have a right to be here because we have love in our hearts. I have love in my heart, and I would never hurt anybody, so I don't want to be hurt myself. Thank you. I love you guys. Bye.